What will VGK's line combinations look like when William Karlsson is healthy? We opine next, right here on this edition of Locked On Golden Knights.
You're Locked On Golden Knights, your daily podcast on the Vegas Golden Knights, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Well, hi again, everyone. Tony Cardasco and Chris Golick from Las Vegas. Thanks for making us your first listen every day. Find us wherever you get your podcast. Please make sure to subscribe to our Locked On Golden Knights YouTube channel. And we are brought to you today by Gametime. Download the Gametime app. Use the promo code LOCKEDONNHL for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. So fresh off of his
Gametime.
Well, that was a great costume you wore last night to the VGK holiday party or the Halloween party. Grimace, right there is Grimace, Chris Golick. Okay, William Karlsson, where were we? Him and his woman, they were dressed up as Dune characters, I guess. Okay,
that's
so
what that was. I had no idea. Okay,
yeah, so I haven't seen the movie. I don't know what it was. Someone had to explain on the X what that costume was. Saw the Wagyu. She had posted the photo. William Karlsson is expected to be in the VGK lineup this weekend for the first time since May. I know you would like to break up that Golden Knights top line, but Bruce Cassidy yesterday said Mark Stone, for instance, won't be dropped in the lineup until Karlsson gets going. And Tomas Hertl might have found himself in Tuesday's game with that 4-pointer. So no change in the first line, perhaps at wing, and possibly Karlsson will be dropped when he begins this season to the third line. Is that how things might go?
I think so. I mean, there's two paths here. Number one is going to keep the top and basically all the lines intact. Karlsson is just going to slide in that third line between Brisson and Holtz, which definitely helps. I mean, you look at what William Karlsson did last year for a lot of the season. But before Paul Cotter became an elite goal scorer, he was, someone that could score 7, 8 goals, 18 assists, something like that. Brett Howden and Mike Amadio spent parts of the season on the wing with William Karlsson, who had a 30-30 season. Karlsson makes the players around him better. Karlsson obviously is a good defensive-minded forward. So Brisson and Holtz can certainly use an upgrade, if you will, over Cole Schwindt. No knock on Cole Schwindt. I like Schwindt's game, but Karlsson obviously, fits that bill a little bit better.
So Schwindt would be odd man out, right? He'd be out of the lineup, I would have to assume.
I would assume loosely. I say that because the Golden Knights have shown lack of desire to play Brendan Brisson right now. It's not a knock on the Golden Knights. Just Brendan Brisson is having a hard time finding his way still at the NHL level. So is there a path where Schwindt is the odd man, or Schwindt goes to the wing, or Hertl goes to the wing? I mean, the Golden Knights would love to try and find ways to get centers on the wing. In this case, I don't think that happens, but I wouldn't be completely surprised if all of a sudden Nick Waugh was back on that third line on the wing with William Karlsson, but then that drops Brett Howden down, possibly, or it drops Schwindt down to the fourth line, which I don't think Remember, so. Nick Waugh and Karlsson were on the same line, I believe, at some points in camp to see how that would work out. So,
yeah,
that's a possibility as well.
And typical Cassidy yesterday at the presser was just sort of taking subtle shots, I guess, at Brisson, just when he was talking about Holtz there and Alexander Holtz in his game, and saying, a lot of the young players don't go to the boards hard, don't forecheck, all these things. But our guy Holtz, he's really close. He had the breakaway on his way there against against Washington, scored the goal against the Kings. He didn't finish on a 2-on-1 against Tampa. He had a rebound chance in another game. And he seems to think that he was close before breaking through with that goal against the Kings. So here we go again with subtle shots, right? Fired against Brisson. I felt
Listen, this is still a better version of Cassidy as far as with the media and addressing players than when he was in Boston. So subtle shots are fine. There's nothing wrong with subtle shots, but don't, listen, Brisson might go through the glass the next game he plays to prove a point, and Cassidy would probably still say he wasn't hard enough on the puck. So, Brisson, he's got to prove it, and every day he's not proving it, he's that much farther behind. A fun line I would like to see actually would be Karlsson, Stone, and Howden.
Howden has to be in there.
Yeah, Howden's looking good right now. He's playing fast. He's playing aggressive. He's doing what Brennan Brisson needs to do to stay in this lineup right now. He's playing fast and heavy. He's playing fast and heavy.
Stood out, no doubt. And we won't see, according to Cassidy, though, until Karlsson finds his way, we will not see any movement off of that top line. I don't think he wants to break it up just yet, especially on the wing. And then who will play on that top line?
So again, one of my version 2.0 here. Eichel and Barbashev stay together. Dorofeev.
What about the ghost? What about the ghost of Olofsson?
In February, sure, it'll be great.
I said the ghost of Olofsson.
In February, when Olofsson comes back, absolutely, that'd be a great idea. So again, top line. Again, this is just on a very loose piece of scratch post-it note paper here, but Eichel, Barbashev, and Dorofeev, I wouldn't mind seeing that. And then now you're looking at a second line of Karlsson, Stone, and Howden. Tons of familiarity right there, no issues. Third line, and you can, which one's a second or third doesn't really matter, but the other line behind Karlsson, Hurdle, Holtz, Brisson. So again, you're talking
Brissot in there. Yeah.
What's that?
You're going to keep Brissot in there.
I'm going just through a few different ways. I think version 2.0 has Brissot in there. Version 3.0 maybe doesn't have Brissot in there. Maybe that's where they put Nick Waugh back up on that wing, and then but then it's a trickle down. If Nick Waugh is going to go to a wing, Brett Howden's going to go down, possibly and play center on that fourth line. Maybe it's Cole Schwindt, and Brisson winds up being the scratch. So I guess the bigger question in all of this is who's the scratch when Karlsson shows. I would handicap it's 55% Schwindt, 45% Brisson.
Okay.
You can keep Schwindt as a center.
Right.
You have not Waugh go back to the wing, which was that was plan A. Remember, that was plan A at training camp. Nick Waugh on the wing.
Yeah, but also
with Karlsson.
Also, too, Cassidy did say that fourth line he's very pleased with Waugh, Pearson, and Coley, who
it's a great line. It's an absolutely great fourth line.
Is Coley Colasar? I got to keep up with all of these.
If you can't figure that out, Tony, then you need to go back to you need to go back to podcasting school.
To UNLV. Oh, that was good. Yeah, over there. Yeah, and then also too, we heard Cassidy say that we probably will see rust from Karlsson. So he's seen him in practice and probably looks a little rusty, I would have to imagine. So it's going to take, 2-3 games until he finds his groove, I would have to imagine. And you still say start Karlsson on Saturday, not in Friday's game.
Yeah, absolutely. I see absolutely zero reason
play the back-to-back. No reason for him to play the back-to-back.
No, but to be fair, if the Golden Knights are putting him, and this isn't a Karlsson thing, this is any player. Coach Cassidy tries, at least at this point of the season, to wait until players are 100% ready to go. If we're in the playoff hunt, things like that, then it's obviously a different story as far as the timing when a player is going to come back. But if a player is not 100% ready to go, they are not going to be in this lineup. What's one more day at this point? The answer is it's no big deal. They're playing Ottawa Friday. Ottawa's Ottawa. We'll talk about them on Friday's show.
Yeah, for sure. Did you see the costumes of Nick Waugh, Aiden Hill, and their Wagoos? The Wags were dressed.
I don't follow them on Instagram, Tony, so you have to.
They were the Blue Man Group, Mr. Grimace, the Blue Man Group last night at the Halloween
Grimace?
party.
What the hell does that mean?
You don't know what Grimace is?
I know what Grimace means. I know it was like a term.
Google it during the break. The New York Mets.
You say McDonald's?
Yeah, McDonald's. The Grimace. Yeah.
Is that the hamburger?
No, it's the Grimace. Coming up next, the Hockey News article that poses the question, should VGK trade away one of its blue liners to Utah? We'll talk about that as we return on this Halloween-ish edition of Locked On Golden Knights. We are brought to you today by FanDuel. Go to FanDuel.com. FanDuel Sportsbook is the official partner. Stop yawning, Golick. As the official sports betting partner of Locked On Golden Knights. When you get a hunch in the middle of the game, you can check out the latest stats, view live play-by-play, and so much more on the same page that you place your bets on. And to get started, you get $200 in bonus bets guaranteed when you place your very first $5 bet. FanDuel.com, it is America's #1 sportsbook, and there's so much stuff going on at FanDuel. So tonight we've got Thursday night footballs featured. Vikings -3 at the Rams, and the total is 48. And we got World Series game #1 tomorrow. The Dodgers are -122 favorite. The Yankees +112, and the total is 8.5. And Boise State at the alma mater tomorrow night. This could be a big, big game. And we have Boise State at 3.5-point favorite. The total on that game is 64. Check it out, folks. Go to FanDuel.com. FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Welcome back on this edition of Locked On Golden Knights. Tony Cardasco and the Grimace, man. You'd be a great Grimace. I'm not kidding you, bro. You would be. Reporting from Las Vegas. Thanks so much for tuning in. Thanks for making us your first listen each and every day. I know you were undercover. I know you were at that party last night. They didn't see you, but that's a good thing. Did you get any scoop out of that party maybe for us?
I didn't. We're
okay.
For Halloween, we were actually talking about the kids have, ever since our cruises, as the sounds, have taken a very high interest in boats and cruise ships and
how fun.
Titanic and cruise ship disasters and things like that.
The Titanic.
So we were thinking about maybe like one of us dressing as an iceberg, the kids dressing up as the Titanic. And
that's tremendous. That's tremendous.
I don't know if it's going to happen or not, but that was one of the ideas that we've got out there right now.
Well, I'm glad that you're talking about this Titanic, costume apparel post cruise trip that you had up there.
No, Amanda doesn't want to go on another cruise now since the kids. I mean, they can tell you all these things about not just Titanic, but the Concordia. There was this Britannic was another one they can go on and on. They can educate you on cruise ship disasters, as weird as that sounds.
Yes, and we can educate you about podcast disasters as well right here. So yesterday in the hockey news, there was an article. Could VGK explore a trade with the Utah hockey team? Not as crazy as it sounds. When you think about it, the bad news for the hockey club is that they have lost Sean Dursey. He has to repair his right shoulder. And we also have John Marino, having lower back surgery. And so Utah right now in need of a defenseman who has a few defensemen, VGK, right? And who would be on the block right now? Ben Hutton just came to mind, initially when I saw this article. It's not a rumor, anything like that, but it just is sort of like fill in the blanks. Would the Golden Knights explore getting rid of Shea Theodore now? There's some interesting things there. Yeah, Dursey and Marino each will be out past the new year. That's the American New Year, right? They'll be out, after the new year.
As far as on the VGK side, I mean, forget Arizona. Just who do they trade and why, if and when it happens? Shea Theodore, I mean, over a point per game pace, I believe, to open the season, and if he can stay healthy, we're talking about an outside Norris candidate right now. Is crazy. It's not as crazy as it sounds, but that's the reality. Defensemen who are at about a point per game clip, that is one of the first considerations when it comes to Norris. Shea Theodore checking that box right now. We'll see, obviously, what happens throughout the season. But I was writing about Shea Theodore in the offseason last year leading up. And to open the season, he was 150-1 to win the Norris. In the season before he got hurt, it dropped as low as 75-1. So, I mean, that's a pretty big change. It doesn't take much to change the odds in a pool of that size. But still, point being is Shea Theodore does have that pedigree, and he is on the radar for that. how do you trade Shea Theodore right now when, he is playing so well and everything? I mean, if the Golden Knights were to trade Shea Theodore today, what do you get in return for him, especially from this Arizona team? There's, it's basically prospects and lower level players, or these, like a Dylan Gunther, who has such a bright future. He has a big contract kicking in next year as well. So he's out of the equation. Matthias Michelli is a player I absolutely love, but I don't think he would be the proper return. I mean, Barrett Hayton, Kevin Stenlund, Jack McBain, Nate Smith, players like that. I don't think so. Josh Doan has the popularity, even though they're not in Arizona anymore. Clayton Keller is a $7 million player. Nick Schmaltz is a $5.8 million player. It would be incredibly tough for any deal involving Shea Theodore for so many reasons right now. So many reasons.
Yeah. Well, I mean, one of the things that you would have to do, of course, VGK really likes players to be named later, conditional draft picks, and all of that.
You're not shooting Shea Theodore for future considerations.
No. I'm
you're
just
not shooting
saying
him off for a fourth rounder.
No. So it might not be Theodore, but Hutton for draft picks. What do you think about that? For assets.
You're getting a sixth round pick for Hutton. You're getting nothing. It's not a knock on Hutton. He's a 30-year-old, I believe, journeyman defenseman who, a 31-year-old journeyman defenseman making $975. I mean,
what do we call him? Huddy?
We call him Huddy. He is Huddy.
Is that Huddy? Okay.
And the question, I guess, is why Korzak over Ben Hutton the other night too?
That's why I'm thinking Hutton.
Hutton's a left-handed shot as well. You would think Hutton just slides right in, but it was Korzak, and I'm not knocking the decision. Korzak looked really, really good out there.
Had the assist, the apple, yeah.
So
that's good. That's
the other thing. I mean, so just real fast here, Golden Knights have 8 solid defensemen, which is probably one more than most teams have. But the issue is after the 8 defensemen, now we're going down to Henderson. We're taking a look down there, and Dyson Mayo set off. As much as you love the idea of Joe Fleming, and he took on a 7-foot monster last night and got his
he got his we'll talk about that next second.
Got his teeth rearranged.
Jesus.
I mean, Kemek, Chika, Cormier, I believe, is injured right now, if I'm not mistaken. I thought I saw him in a cast at the opener. And Robert Haig, there's no players that are gonna be that extra defenseman if something happens. So Hutton, sure. Would anything change if Ben Hutton got traded from the team? Absolutely not. But you need a defenseman coming back, or something worthwhile to make it work. But now all of a sudden, I mean, two injuries to this defensive core is not that unheard of in Vegas. So I think the Golden Knights stand pats. I mean, they're not trading McNabb, are they? I mean, I don't know.
Other than going into the penalty box again the other night, what about White Cloud? So he's in good graces now.
I mean, listen, White Cloud probably could bring a very reasonable return. White Cloud probably, again, they're not trading Pietrangelo or Noah Hannafin. So
this is hypothetical too.
Yeah. So, I mean, White Cloud probably brings the best return of the tradable assets, even maybe better than a Shea Theodore, because Shea Theodore is a $5.2 million cap hit. Shea Theodore's value at the trade deadline is much more than what it is today, to be fair as well.
Right.
But White Cloud is a for core builder, if that's the right way to say that, for any hockey club. And that also includes the Vegas Golden Knights. 2.75 for this season and the next 3 seasons is an absolute bargain for your player on the third D pairing. He can climb to the second D pairing on a lot of teams in this league, and there's a few teams he could be on the top defensive pairing, or he could fill in the event, let's say a Pietrangelo was going to be gone for, 6 weeks for God knows what. White Cloud on that top pairing is not a scary proposition for a lot of people. So White Cloud would have, I think, substantial trade value, maybe even better than Shea Theodore. As crazy as that sounds, it's actually not that crazy.
No, it absolutely is not. And I'm not rooting against Theodore having
Theodore's
season.
playing.
I'm just saying
Theodore's playing great. White Cloud's playing great. McNabb's playing great. They're all playing great.
Right. All I said was if Theodore has a really bad season, then VGK has the leverage to re-sign him for about equal to what he's making.
He's not taking 5.2 to stay in Vegas.
No, I don't think so either.
Especially after what happened with recent free agents as well. I mean, Theodore's not dumb. He knows what's going on.
The hungover team will be back on the ice today, so we'll have to see how that after that big party last night. And they go hard; they do go hard in the paint. So we'll see what happens today. Who's going to be the most hungover? Is Karlsson up
Karlsson.
there? Maybe are they talking rust and hangover? Perhaps
It's
could be.
I still remember when me and Karlsson had a few too many at the very first VGK gala, and then I talked to Ryan Reeves about that like a couple of years later, and Reeves remembered Karlsson puking, I think, in the garbage can the next morning and stuff and all that. So I love it.
That's awesome.
I love it.
Coming up next, the Golden Knights ECHL affiliate opens up their inaugural campaign. We'll talk about that in Tahoe tonight, right after this on Locked On Golden Knights. Gametime has a new feature called Gametime Picks. It makes getting tickets even easier for your favorite live events. So check out Gametime Picks because it filters out all the fluff and just shows you all of the incredible deals that you are looking for. And there are so many great different things that you can attend here, events and such in Vegas and on the sporting. And of course, the UNLV ticket's very hot for once against Boise State at Allegiant Stadium on Friday. This is going to be, I'll take one photo. This is my office for the weekend at Allegiant because then Sunday we have the Raiders and the Chiefs, and that's always a popular football game to check out. They've got the lowest price guarantee. They have event cancellation protection, job loss protection, some really good features. Lowest price guarantee or Gametime will credit you 110% of the difference. And again, on ticket coverage, your purchase is covered with the most flexible customer service policy in the ticketing industry. So take the guesswork out of buying tickets. Download the Gametime app today. Create an account. Use the promo code LOCKEDONNHL. You will receive $20 off of your first purchase. Again, terms apply. Create an account. Use the redeem code LOCKEDONNHL for $20 off. Download Gametime today. What time is it, Mr. Golick? It's game time. Yeah, it's game time. And we are also brought to you today by PrizePicks. It's the best place to get real money sports action with over 10 million members and billions of dollars in awarded winnings. PrizePicks has made daily fantasy sports accessible to all. You just pick more or less on at least two players for a shot to win up to 100 times your cash. Run your game all season long on PrizePicks. And again, you can now win up to 100 times your money on PrizePicks with as little as 4 correct picks. That's right. And PrizePicks is the best place to get real money. Join over 10 million users and sign up today. You can even have fantasy there with, again, just a number of players. They put their members first, so all of the withdrawals are fast, safe, and secure. And when my picks hit, I can get my money in as quickly as 15 minutes. That's right. So PrizePicks, the best way to get real money this football season. Which players are going off, which aren't. Make your picks in less than 60 seconds and turn your sports opinions into real money all season long. Download the app today. Use the promo code LOCKEDONNHL and you will receive $50 instantly when you play $5 at PrizePicks. We welcome you back on this edition of Locked On Golden Knights. Tony Cardasco and Chris Golick from Las Vegas. Thanks for making us your first listen each and every day. Find us wherever you get your podcast. Don't forget, tomorrow is WTF with the Friday, so line up all of your comments. Some people quote us very deep into this show, which is always fascinating to me. So in that last segment, last line, when they go down to the chapter and the verse, and they pull out things, astounding to me. And then, of course, Saturdays, Chris and Chris Jr., the Human Iceberg will be here, and that will be the YouTube exclusive. So we've got the opener tonight. So the Tahoe Knight Monsters.
I was muted. I was talking.
Yes, I know.
I just say I love the PrizePicks call. Turn your opinions into cash. That is such a dynamite tagline. I love that, by the way. That's what I was saying. So anyway,
I didn't make it up, so that's why it's
no. It's good. It's good. It's way beyond anything we would do.
Yeah, exactly. So Tahoe Knight Monsters inaugural game tonight. Jet Jones, the latest player from Henderson to be sent up, will be a sellout. Last I saw, they had 20 or 30 tickets remaining. I would like to get up there, honestly, and see one of these games. It looks like a cool arena. Tonight, we will probably see Jesper Vikman in net so that the Swedish scouts can scout him and evaluate him for the Four Nations games there.
God,
okay,
that's
his
great.
tryout. That was bad.
Oh, it's perfect. It's perfect. No, I mean, this is pretty cool here. Just doing a little research here about the tickets and all that. They certainly are taking a page out of the playbook, if you will, of the Silver Knights. I mean, there's like 40 tickets left for tonight's game, so it's going to be
40.
a true sellout. Yeah, it's going to be a true sellout tonight. But like looking at tomorrow's, they're celebrating Nevada Day as well up there, over down there,
same
over
state,
yonder.
same state makes sense.
Yeah. So, but like $70 to sit in the first, $90 on the glass, $70 in the first 3 rows. The cheapest you can walk in this game as far as face value of tickets goes, and you're basically in the back of the corners, is $38. There's some singles out there for like $20, but basically it's $38 if you want to walk in.
I'd go
to the stadium for ECHL. I don't know, 38. I mean, 80, a family of 4, it's a $200 night with fees before you even buy a snow cone. I get, now, to be fair, this is a different environment also. You got Tahoe, you got the snowbird money up there and everything. And, I don't know if it's as much family oriented as much as it's going to be for the adults, kind of a drinking, party at the cabin at the top of the mountain type of vibe. I don't know.
They have their own lager beer. It's like definitely a drinking environment. They have like Tahoe Night Monster beer or something like that. The roulette wheels in the circles. Huh? The water.
I don't know what color that beer is going to be.
It's pure, man. That's like pure as Lake Tahoe. They use the water from there. I don't know. So they have the roulette wheels right in the circles, which is pretty cool. I thought that is a.
At least they put 000 in there. They only went with 00, so that's good.
Yeah, that is good. And I think a lot of the games we can catch here locally. I think they signed a deal, correct me if I'm wrong, with SSSEN. So we'll see a package there.
There was something out there. I don't know if Fox is going to hold it or a combination of local channels. But either way, it's definitely a good thing. And, I mean, who would have thought, Tony, that Reno Tahoe, it's no longer anywhere in Canada. Reno Tahoe is the absolute hotbed of hockey right now.
It really is. And other things. Speaking of Northern Nevada, so Alex Marullo, he resurfaces, the former Coyotes owner who got the bag. He secured a nice bag. Right. Now looking for public funding for his new ice rink up there. It's actually a multi-purpose facility that would house UNR basketball. They're supposed to bring the Tucson team, the Roadrunners, on the AHL level up there. This might not happen. This is crazy because
what's more likely, this or the Athletics actually to finish the stadium in Vegas?
Can we trade out another sheet of ice for the A's? Is that's a fair trade out?
I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that. I mean,
another AHL team.
I mean, I don't get. Northern Nevada, all of a sudden, you got the Ghost Pirates. Marullo wants an AHL team out there. I mean, you got to give these guys credit to a degree here. I mean, we're talking owners with millions of dollars, or they represent investment groups with millions and billions of dollars. So if they're identifying this as a good area, then there's probably a reason for it. I don't know. I mean, just a few short years ago, there wasn't even hockey in Nevada as far as on the professional scale. Yes, you had the Wranglers and all that. I get that. I'm not knocking them or anything like that, but that's a far cry from where we are right now, just a few short years later with the Vegas Golden Knights, the Henderson Silver Knights, the Night Monsters, and I don't know if they still call them the Roadrunners when they go up there, or the Aces or the Gamblers or the Generals, whatever they're going to call them. We'll see how that shakes out. But it's at the sniff test, at the eye test, it just feels like way, way, way too much. But early, the Night Monsters look like they're going to be doing okay. Who's not doing okay? And maybe we can. I don't want to save this one for another time. But the Silver Knights had about 14 people in the crowd last night.
Okay, we'll talk about that in just a second. But Marullo, right? to make things even crazier up there. So he wants the public funding,
Of
but
course he does.
that property though is on the property of his casino, which is the Grand Sierra, which is
He owns that casino?
yeah, that's his
I had no idea.
casino. So it's on the same property. So that's like insult to injury. Like why would you
Marullo,
give
M
him
Casino Marullo?
Alex Marullo is
M
the
Casino.
owner.
Who is the M Casino original owner?
Potentially, but he owns the Sahara now here.
No, I
and,
know. Okay.
And the Grand Sierra up there. So you can Google that and all what have you. But I'm just saying that it's on his casino resort property. So why would he need public funding if he's got his casino there?
Marnell, not Marullo. Marnell. That's the
Yes,
original M owner.
it was Marnell. And I'm still asleep. Yes, of course. Tony Marnell. In any event, the Silver Knights. I want to talk about that. They got beaten again by the 5-2 to the CUDA. And the highlight or lowlight of the night, my guy, Joe Fleming, just got absolutely wiped by Scott Saborin. My goodness, like they should have stopped it before it began. Like, and this is supposed to be the Silver Knights and potentially at times the Golden Knights enforcer. Fleming.
Easy, Tony. Easy. JD Young hosted Locked On Sharks. Obviously, he's got a real good read on all this. He felt that I forgot who you said it was, the player who fought Joe Fleming. He felt he was taking it easy. He would know because he's obviously watched him before. So my read was the refs did a mercy stop on that before his brains got scrambled all over the floor.
Our boy JD up there in the Bay Area sent me all the clips of his fights. Yeah, Saborin, no bueno. I think white flag, done.
Avoid him. Fair enough.
Yeah, that's fair. And not a big crowd.
Not a big. I would say not a big crowd. Would be like 2,500 people or 2,800 people. Like you're saying, okay, fine, it's a Wednesday night, no big deal. But all the videos that surfaced from the game, I don't know if there was 1,000 people in the seats. Honestly, I know the announced attendance is A and the actual attendance is B, which is also the same for the Golden Knights right now. I still see the Vegas Golden Knights fan base, retweeting all these pictures and things of, the Golden Knights had 102%, in the game the other night. Well, sure, but they had about 87% that actually shows up right now, and it's going down. Same thing happened last year and the year before. But back to the Silver Knights here, it's just, I put a post out there last night basically start off saying, I don't understand why. And then I said, I actually do know why no one goes to these games. It's pretty easy to understand and identify. And people that think the team is losing, like if wins and losses matter, it doesn't at the American League level. It'll help, but wins and losses at the American League level, irrelevant. The location, anyone that uses the location of Lee's Family Forum as an excuse is full of it as well. Yes, you're full of it. I just said that. It takes the same amount of time. If you live in Centennial Hills, it takes you roughly the same amount of time to leave your house, park anywhere in that immediate vicinity of T-Mobile Arena, and to get in the arena. It'll take you probably within 5 to 10 minutes of that time to get to T-Mobile as it does to get down to Lee's. Lee's is much easier to get in and out of, much quicker. You don't got to deal with all the crap garages and all the clowns around there that don't know anything about directing traffic, that put pedestrians in danger on a daily basis. Another WTF, I guess.
Yeah, you're already.
So location doesn't matter. The ticket prices matter. The day of game experience matters, which is still borderline garbage at the Silver Knights games, unfortunately.
Wow, you don't like it? Yeah. I haven't been
so
in a
easy,
minute.
Tony. Honest to God, it is so easy for the Silver Knights to fix this. It is so easy.
I think that Ryan Craig, this is not what VGK envisioned, though.
This is a concern for Craig.
I think so. Yeah, I'm starting to
feel
that way.
I think they gave Craig the option to do this, if I'm not mistaken, and Craig decided to go lone wolf on this, and I think it's going to lead to him going to another organization.
Yeah.
Not for an upward, not for a promotion.
Yeah, no, I'm starting to feel that way too. We appreciate everyone tuning in. Don't forget, tomorrow
20 minutes on this segment.
We started our WTF segment a little bit early.
It's so easy, Tony. It pisses me off thinking about the Silver Knights because it's so easy to pack that place. It's so easy. So easy.
You should be on the marketing team. I was over there, the other
They
day.
want to pay me, I'll fill it up. They want to pay me, I could find a way to get people in that barn.
Oh, special
It's not
shout
hard.
out. We never could leave this show, right?
Never.
Special shout out, our guy, Jesus Lopez, right? That's our guy.
Yeah.
With the luchador mask
Yep.
on last night, calling the game.
He does that.
That's bueno.
He does
That's
that at the
bueno.
Golden Knight games as well. It's awesome.
That's bueno. And that's got to be uncomfortable, too.
He's such a good guy. He's such a good guy
He's
to
a great
talk
guy.
to. Such a good guy.
Shout out to him because he was there calling in Spanish the game last night. HSK game. Does he do all of them? He does both. Oh,
No, I think that's. I think that would be the first time I've seen him down there. But obviously,
was that Los HSK?
Yes, it was a
HSK?
theme night. It was a theme night. Good job by picking a Wednesday night when no one was going to be in the barn to do that. Golden Knights, excellent. Good job.
Don't forget on Saturdays, it's the Chris and Chris Jr. show. And don't blame me for Golick's opinions. We appreciate you tuning in.
I've been apologizing to you for 3 years.
Especially, yes, you have. Especially our everydayers. Of course, for my man, Chris Golick, I am Tony Cardasco from Las Vegas. Take care, Grimace, everyone. Have a great day. See you tomorrow right here on Locked On Golden Knights, and please take care.